Hey Rachel, so this is my topped tomato plant. You can see it's no longer growing up. Here's some of my other tomato plants. They continue to grow super high. I just woke up, so I'm trying not to be on camera. So these are probably 6 feet tall, all planted at the same time as this guy, but the problem is that when I was pruning, I took off the top, which was here. This was the branch that should have continued to grow up. Instead, I accidentally cut it off when I was pruning, so this plant stopped growing up. It's got cat-faced blooms because these are the first blooms. A lot of times with heirlooms, you get a lot of cat-faced fruit initially. Anyway, it will continue to ripen this fruit, but it will no longer grow up this trellis because it has been topped. And you can see, maybe you can see, let me put my coffee down. You can see that on the leaves, can you see this? I don't think you can. It's trying to set these little offshoots, but because I had pruned all the suckers off, like I just left this plant no chance at having a full life. Here's another little offshoot. It's really trying to continue to grow, but I topped the plant. So that is all to say, be very careful when you're pruning. Here's a perfect example of a plant that needs to be pruned, but the top is so small, I could possibly make the same mistake. I'm a little more careful now. So when you're pruning, you generally want to prune the suckers that are in the armpits. So for example, this is my main stem. I'm growing this particular plant up one stem. On this main stem, I have taken all the suckers out of the armpits. Like here, there was a sucker, it's been cut. Here is a sucker that needs to come out. Do you see this in the armpit? That's a sucker, it's gotta go. But what happens sometimes is you get to pruning and you end up taking out your top because it kind of looks like a sucker, but it's actually the top of your plant. So if I took this piece, I would be doing to this plant what I did to this poor plant, and I don't want to do that. Here's actually a good example of a sucker. I don't know if you can see this. So we're in the armpit of this plant. Let's see. We are in the armpit, there we go, of this plant. This is a sunleaf. This is the main stem that I'm growing the plant up. This guy is a sucker. So if I don't take this guy off, he will grow a whole other plant, and then this plant will be out of control, which would be fine if I wanted an out of control plant, but because I'm growing in a small space, I need my plants to grow up 1 or 2 stems. So this guy's gotta go. I don't have any clippers on me. Actually, I do. So with this plant, I will take this sucker and I'll clip it. And now, oops, I have a perfectly viable clone. Let me show you clones. This is my cloning station. Basically, when I take a good sucker out of the armpit of one of my plants that's thriving, I clone it because I have a tomato growing problem. And so all of these were clones, or are clones, and if you just put them in water and set them outside, they'll grow roots. So all these clones now have roots. This will look like this in about 9-ish, 10 days. This needs to obviously go into a pot or the ground. It needs something. Nonetheless, clones. You can make extra plants with your suckers. I hope it's helpful.